Alright, Ivan, so somebody asked a question, like, what is a fun elite spec? And honestly, that is a really fun question. Which ones are fun and which ones aren't? I feel like this is something I can do now. For those of you that are new to the channel, I've been doing this challenge where we're trying to basically play every single elite spec in the game. This is coming from a PvE perspective. So y'all, the idea here is that this tier list is not like what is good. This tier list is like which ones do I think are fun. That's where we're at, okay? I might do a tier list at some point like what is good, but this is purely like what is actually fun to play. Okay, let's start with Warrior. All the Warrior fans in the chats. I like Spellbreaker. I think Spellbreaker is super, super fun. I never played it much, but they buffed it super hard. And now, like, Hammer Spellbreaker is a thing. You can basically just bonk enemies. And you can, like, do lots of CC. It's super, super satisfying. It's very, very simple to play. The rotation flows very well. You don't have to do any, like, cancelling stuff or whatever to do well with it. It's easy to pick up. Yeah, pretty solid. I would rate it as A tier. That is definitely A tier for me. Support Spellbreaker, boring. I mean, do people really play Support Spellbreaker? I haven't played Support Spellbreaker. This is pretty based on my experiences, right? So the only Spellbreaker I've played really is Hammer Spellbreaker. Up next, we've got Bladethorn. I think Bladethorn is a genuine S tier build. Bladethorn is the coolest shit, everyone. Like, just... Oh, like, it's so different from every other spec. You gotta, like, charge up these massive, like, swoosh attacks and stuff. I always have a great time on Bladethorn. Now, I will say it can be super unsatisfying as well. Like, you know, when you go and play Bladethorn and then the boss faces right as you do your big swoosh. It can feel pretty bad, but when you manage to pull it off, it feels so good. And it does so much damage, and it's like you see the huge damage numbers with your massive swoosh. For everyone that hasn't played Bladethorn, basically you get this Dragon Trigger skill, which does a ton of damage. And like, if you manage to hit it consistently, you're gonna do so much damage. If you miss them, that's not great, because the rest of your kit doesn't actually do very much. But it's very fun. I love Bladethorn. That is, to me, genuine S tier. I always have a good time. Alright, now, let's talk about Guardian. Honestly, Dragon Hunter... Now, I will admit, it's been a while since I've played Dragon Hunter. It's been on the list for me to, like, relearn it, because it's been such a long time. The last time I played Dragon Hunter was in Heart of Thorns. It's supposed to be kind of different now because they've made the longbow actually good. So this one is kind of like, this ranking might change, but I honestly always thought Dragon Hunter was kind of boring. I think there's just not that much that it's got going for it. Like, you just kind of got your, you know, you've got your weapon skills. You're still a Guardian, so you've got a lot of cool fun utility to play with, but... To me, it just feels like core Guardian with extra steps. Like, I find Firebrand much more interesting, personally. So, Dragon Hunter, for me, is probably gonna be a C tier. Do we have too many tiers? Nah, we're good. That's pretty solid. We've got, like, up to D tier. Hold on. Lara rating War specs A tier and S tier. What is the what comes to? Wish you could play Bladethorn. Oh my gosh, it's super, super fun. Maybe EOD can go on sale sometime. That would be nice. And then you can, like, maybe play it. Hold on. Are we Spellbreaker was getting Alec versus Bladethorn? Maybe. I don't like the traps, they look cool. Yeah, the traps, honestly, they can be pretty fun in World 3 World. But again, this is PvE fun. In World 3 World, I think the traps are pretty fun to, like, try to, like, pull people into it and stuff. But in PvE, it's like, eh. Okay, Firebrand. I think Firebrand is genuinely awesome. I've seen a lot of people in the chat being like, they're not big Firebrand fans, but I would put Firebrand in A tier. I think Firebrand is just darn versatile. You get so many skills, and they all like give you different stuff, right? Like there's, if you play Connie Firebrand, it's completely different from playing Heal Firebrand, right? And then you've got Connie Quickness Firebrand, and you've got this. It really makes you feel like you are reading from these like tomes of spells, right? You're sort of like summoning these tomes and you've got all these different skills. It's really got that sort of like spellcaster like spellcaster fantasy in a way, where you're like going through your tomes and then you activate that tome and then that tome and then that tome. Yeah, it's the ultimate jack of all trades. It has been nerfed. Again, this is not a tier list about how good it is, but Firebrand was kind of everywhere for like 3 years. It's now balanced, if you can believe that. Firebrand is no longer ubiquitous everywhere. It's no longer just the best at like everything, basically, but it's still fun. I still like it. So for me, Firebrand goes into A tier. Up next, Willbender. Is this a spicy choice? Yo, I played Willbender last week. Like, Willbender was one of the other ones I hadn't played. I thought it was kind of boring. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't enjoy it very much. Now, then again, we only played the Condi build. I believe the power build is supposed to be a little bit more engaging, but it didn't do very much for me. I thought it was kind of like, again, Guardian with extra steps, not too exciting. You get like some different like virtues. I guess the utility skills are kind of cool. You know, the elite skills kind of cool, like the roundhouse kick and stuff. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of boring. Maybe my opinion will change if I play the power one, or if I play the Alak builds. This is purely based on, again, my experience, which is like only Condi Willbender. And I thought it was just kind of Firebrand, but way more boring. It's like Firebrand, but it misses all the cool spells you get to do. I thought it was just kind of boring. The power build's zippy, but not crazy effective. I know. I feel like maybe I'd enjoy it more, but yeah, I just didn't like it that much. Hey, what's up, Natashi? This is how much I like them. Having played almost all of them now. Power Willbender has huge damage. I mean, Condi Willbender can also do like 40k if you're good with it. They're both, it's not bad. Again, if this was a tier that's purely based on how good it was, it would be an A tier. Like, it hits quite hard. I just thought it was boring. It didn't really make me go like, oh, I want to play that again. I'm never feeling like, yes, Willbender. Oh, that's true. In PvP, it's quite fun. I actually played it quite a bit in PvP. It was kind of my go-to PvP spec for a long time, actually. It still kind of is. I don't really have many PvP builds. In PvP, I was rated higher. But in PvE, I don't like it that much. She's called Lara. Let's go! Awesome names, Natashi. Alright. We are now up to the Revenant specs. First up, we've got Heralds. Heralds is getting reworked. So I feel like it's a tricky one. Again, like we're just rating it based on like what we have so far, but Herald is a very cool idea. You've got all these facets you can keep up. Right now, it's not as fun because you just like spam them. Basically, to give quickness and to keep up boons effectively, the way you play Herald right now is you put up the facet and you instantly like delete it. You start it and you get rid of it immediately, which is kind of sad. Honestly, it's still pretty fun to play, but they're reworking it in the next balance patch so that you actually have to keep up the facets instead of just like immediately blow them up. Honestly though, I think it's quite fun. It's really satisfying because you can be like a quickness herald and you can do so much support. Like you've got all these different tools, right? It's fun. I enjoy heralds, but I think it might get better after the patch, so I would put it in B tier now. B tier. I think Milk is a low intensity herald build. Oh yeah, it's easy to play. I think you can definitely play a low intensity build and still do super well with it. You still consume swiftness and might facets, right? But you gotta keep 3 of them up or something, right? I think that's what they says. Alright, what else have we got? Oh, we've got Renegade. I actually think Renegade is really fun. I think Renegade is super fun. Hey, what's up, Nats? Nats coming in with the raid. Nats, thank you so much for raiding us. I've had a great stream. We're doing a tier list. I'm talking about different guilds to elite specs and how much fun I think they are. It's not like if they're good, but it's if I think they're fun. Welcome, everyone. I've had a great stream, Nats. Oh, this is a tricky one. I think Herald or Renegade pure DPS is super fun. I think Alak Renegade is not as much fun. It's still kind of fun. Again, you've got all the versatility from like being a Revenant. Revenant just has all this versatility. You've got all these like different thingies you can swap into. I guess it's not really part of the spec, but it still makes the spec fun, right? If the core class is fun, the spec will also be kind of fun. I think I would put this here, but I like it more than Herald's. So maybe I should put Herald here? I'm sorry, Herald. You're getting retroactively demoted. Like... I apologize. I apologize, Harold. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had haircuts. Thank you, Nat. You can actually see my eyes and my eyebrows. And I also just reduced the length a little bit. Thank you so much for saying that. Harold not even A. Or Renegade not even A. I don't think I could like it quite that much. Let's put Harold lower in B. Okay, fine. Fine. That's true. I mean, I like Herald a lot more than Dragon Hunter. So you do have a fair point. Honestly, maybe it's... high 8 here. Like DPS Renegade is so fun. I love DPS Fine. 8 here. Fine. Everyone's getting promoted. Vindicator! Oh. I don't know where to put that. Vindicator is kind of fun, to be honest. Like, with all the dodging... and like, what's it called? You basically like spam your dodge and stuff. And the Grey Sword is very fun to use in my opinion. I think Alliance Stance is very fun to use as well. Vindicator's F tier. You think so? I think Vindicator is super fun. I think Vindicator... oh... everything's gonna be too high. Like, I'd put it in A tier, but... I'm gonna put it in A tier. I need to be careful not to put too much stuff in A tier. We have to, otherwise we'll have to demote some. I do like Renegade more. I do like Renegade more. Renegade does, like, they are like order gel within the tier. But yeah, I'd put it in A, I guess. Daredevil. Daredevil's cool. I haven't played it in years. But it's cool. It's cool. Don't you think Daredevil's cool? You get like free dodges. You get all these like unique dodges. The stuff is kind of fun. Unfortunately, it gets very spammy, doesn't it? This is just the issue with Thief. The issue with Thief is that you don't have cooldowns on your weapon skills, which means that you basically just end up spamming your highest DPS skill over and over for the most part as a Thief. This happens on like every single Thief spec. Like, there's not much rotation going on. There's just Thief is just, yeah, it is a Thief issue. But I am rating these as like, how excited am I to play them? So it does affect my enjoyment of Daredevil, if that makes sense. I'm not like ranking them with the core out of it. This is purely like, how excited am I to play this, right? So I guess I'm pretty excited for most Revenant builds, which is why they're all quite high. Yo, Nats, thank you so much for rating us this August. I don't know, I'd put Daredevil maybe Beats here. Like, it's got a cool theme going on, but also... I haven't played it in 3 years, so clearly it doesn't excite me that much. You know what I mean? It's cool though, I love the idea. Yeah, Beater. Deadeye. Oh, no. Okay, here's the thing. I love the class fantasy of Deadeye. Like, you're a sniper thief. It's cool. But it just kind of sucks to play, doesn't it? Like... I mean, it's very fun on certain fights. On certain fights, it's very fun. But just the fact that you kneel down... They've tried to, like, address this a little bit. They've made it so that you can actually, like, sort of crouch around a little bit while you're kneeling. Hold on. But, like, what's it called? Like, it has gotten a lot better compared to what it was. I would say that Deadeye's enjoyment and also just how good it is has increased massively in the past year. The fact that you can crouch around a little bit and stuff like that. Oh, also, they're adding quickness, right? They're making it so that you can get the quickness traits, and then you can give quickness with your steal skill. That's gonna be fun, but, you know, that's not in the game yet, so we can't rate that, but... I would rate it D tier. Like... I would rate it above Willbender, though, I think. Yo, Toyota, thank you as well for the rate. So many people rating us. Is that bad? Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that crouch to me feels much worse. I mean, you don't have to use it. You can still just stand still like before. It's just a straight up buff. You couldn't move and now you can move. So, right, like, I don't think that's made it worse. It's just added to it. Hold on. So yeah, I don't think in that sense that it's worse that they can move now. I think that makes it much more viable in many fights, the fact that you can move out of an AoE now, which you couldn't before. So I would say Deadeye's Class Fantasy, super fun, but it's still just very rough to use. Like on certain fights it shines, and there it's quite fun, like on Kadim 1 and Kadim 2. Mershad's Overseer, because you don't have to move very much. But on most fights, Deadeye is like, you don't want to play it. And then you can play it with daggers, which is like really fun, but if something happens to you, your DPS immediately drops off and you hit like nothing. It's like a super, super fragile build. So yeah, I would put it in D tier, I think. I would put it in D tier. You'd put Dragon Hunter dead last. Really? Really? Are you not a Dragon Hunter fan? Alright, Spectre. Spectre is fun, but it is currently it is a spec of missed opportunities. Like Spectre kind of like almost got introduced as like, whoa, this is like kind of a healer, and it's kind of a single target healer. It seems super cool and super different. But nobody plays it as a healer. It turns out that single target healing just kind of sucks. Like if you can heal your whole subgroup or one person, you're pretty much always gonna pick healing the whole subgroup. So it's the whole healing part is basically kind of useless. People don't really do it. However, it is getting buffs in the next balance patch, where they're gonna make it so that if you heal someone and give berries to people, there'll be little AoE around them, so you can actually hit more people at the same time. So Heal Spectre might actually become viable in the next balance patch, which I'm really excited about. However, for now, it is a fun DPS spec, it's a fun Alok spec, but the healing is just kind of not very great in PvE. Hopefully it will get good with the balance patch. Yeah, I'm praying for Heal Spectre. For now though, I would put it in C tier. I do actually quite like playing it, but maybe not as much. Ah, okay, we're getting to engineer now. All of these are fun. Maybe Mechanist not as much. Yellow Scrapper's awesome. I love Scrapper. You get to zoom around with super speed. You get to hit stuff with your big hammer. You get to have these gyros, and honestly, they're kind of cute. They're kind of these like tiny little droids. Scrapper's very fun. I like Scrapper. Again, it's getting reworked though. I wonder if it will be less fun after the rework, because now you have to do like finishers to give quickness, which seems a bit weird. But that's becoming a thing. I would say that I would put Scrapper in B tier. It's not my favorite. I mostly like it in open world. In like raids and strikes and fractals and stuff, I don't really ever play it. But in open world, it's awesome. So, B tier. I think B tier is pretty high, actually. Oh well. Holosmith. Immediate S tier. Holosmith is awesome. I love Holosmith. I would even rate it higher than Blazehorn, even. I'm biased, okay? I made Holosmith for like 3 years. Like, whenever I need a DPS anywhere, I would play Holosmith. I just love the theme. I love like that you're pulling out these holographic weapons and you get to hit people with them. I love that you get... It's still engineer, so you get to use kits. I love kits. I love like switching your skill bars and having access to lots of different skills. It's so fun. There's still overheat mechanic, which can be annoying, but it's also, it kind of makes the combat more fun, I find, personally. Like, you gotta pay some attention so you don't overheat. I think some people really dislike that, but I think it's quite fun, to be honest. I love Holosmith. Immediate S tier, one of my favorite specs ever. Absolutely love it. Up next, we have Mechanist. Oh... Mechanist deserves S tier for 2 things. Heal Mech is very unique class and you control your character in the mech. DPS Mechanist allows a ton of people to get into harder content. These things are both true. But again, we're talking how much... Like, this tier is purely based on like, you know, like Marie Kondo, which is like, does this spark joy? This is basically like if you tell Lara, yo, Lara, you gotta play this spec for the next month. How happy will I be? Like, will I be excited or will I be like, I like Heal Mech. Heal Mech is kind of fun. I'm not personally the biggest fan of Power Mech. Connie Mech is kind of fun. Connie Mech is kind of fun. You know? No, it's fine. Hi, Seater. Hi, Seater. Connie Mech is kind of fun. Heal Mech is kind of fun. Seater. Seater. It's unique. It's cool. I appreciate Mechanist being a thing. I just don't get very excited to play it for the most part. Maybe I should play Connie Mech again. Connie Mech is very, very powerful. Power Mech I find to be kind of a snooze fest. I think it's really boring. But Connie Mech is fun and Heal Mech is fun too. No, fine, I will go to B tier. Fine, fine. I do like Heal Mech. B tier, fine. It's upgraded. It's upgraded. It's B tier. Hey, what's up, Yukon? Yeah, we're going pretty fast, aren't we? So far, I haven't put too much in S tier. That's good, I think. Druids. I love the theme of Druids. Like nature magic. You get to heal people. Guilds to soundtrack tier list. That'll be kind of fun. So that's Connie Alakmeg is not good enough anymore. Oh, I mean, you can still play it. I play it pretty often, to be honest. It's maybe not as good as some of the other ones, but it's totally viable. Unless you're trying to get the world records. Like, it totally does, like, plenty of damage, to be honest. Oh, Druid. I love the theme of Druids. Somehow, I don't like playing Druid that much. I do sort of, like, force myself to play it, to mix it up. But yeah, just spamming the spirits is not that fun. They're changing that, though. They're making it so that you give Allah with Grace of the Lands. So it might get a little bit more fun. But again, we're rating it based on right now. I think this is a very difficult one. I would either put it here or put it here. One of those two. Honestly, I'd put it in B tier. I would probably put it under Heralds even. Yeah, this is where it is. This is where it deserves to be. Hey, what is up, the legendary Lynn? Yo, we're getting all the raids today. Yo, Lynn, thank you so much for the raids. Oh my gosh, I hope you had a great stream. I'm doing spicy content. We're making a tier list based on how much I like playing specs in PvE. We're upsetting everybody in the chat right now. It's wonderful. No. Yo, Lynn, I hope you had an absolutely wonderful stream. Welcome in, everyone. What's up, Aragas? Aragas, thank you so much for the Prime. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, I don't know. The thing about Druids is, it's just not really my favorite healer. I think that, I wish that applying the, what's it called? Applying Aegis didn't have this, like, a delay on the pet. Like, there's this kind of annoying delay to applying Aegis. I think usually I prefer Firebrand or Heal Mech, even. So, like, if this was pure Heal Mech, I'd put that there even. But again, this is also about DPS Mech. Honestly, I put it... No, it's there. It's there. This counts as a hidden feature you didn't know, but you can right-click your weapon swap. I did know that, but it is a cool feature which a lot of people don't know about, so maybe it should be in a video. Aegis will be from Stone's period after the patch. Right! I wonder. I don't know, it's just the thing, like, I just don't like playing Druid that much for some reason. It's not a bad spec, the theming is on point. Again, I didn't rate it low. I put it above Scrapper, okay? I put it above Scrapper, it's relatively high. It's in the upper half. But yeah, I just don't like playing it that much for some reason. I do play it pretty often though, because it's really good. It's honestly same with Heralds. I'm kind of bored of Herald, but it's really good, so I play it pretty often. Okay, what else have we got? Soul Beast. Honestly, I would put Soul Beast in A tier. Soul Beast is so much fun. Like, I am kind of sad that I didn't play it before. I only started playing it like last month for the challenge. and it's so fun. It's just so fun to like do the massive burst window. You get to use Sikkim, you get to use like the one wolf pack and stuff, and you get to like just you're kind of like chilling, but then you do like big massive bursts, and if you time it well, it feels a bit like Blazethorn, to be honest, where like basically you've got like one big thing that does a lot of damage, and it's kind of fun, like especially in fractals if you can time it around like the exposed stuff and everything. It's really fun. I really like Soul Beast. Yeah, it's got fun traits too. Soul Beast is just, yes, it's cool. I would put it in A tier. Yeah, the rotation feels good as well, doesn't it? I like it. It's good. It's good in my opinion. Fun beast, exactly. Chronomancer. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I would have put Chronomancer in S tier easily a couple of years ago. But Chronomancer has fallen. Like, nobody plays Chronomancer anymore in PvE. I mean, maybe some people still do, but like, it went from probably being the most played spec in all of PvE because it was the only one that could give quickness and alloc to being completely overshadowed. Like, I haven't seen a quickness chrono or an alloc chrono in at least like 6 months. And it's just hard to play. And the other ones are just way easier to play, and it's just not even that good. So like, it's usually fine if something is hard, but then you want it to have a payoff, right? You want it to have, like, well, you put in a lot of effort to play it, and then it's really, really good. But it's just not even that good. So, it is fun, though. You're right. I did think it was really fun back in the day. Honestly, I haven't really played the new stuff. But, like, I always loved putting down the wells and stuff, so... I don't know where to put it now. Again, I would easily put it in S tier a couple years ago, but right now, put it next to Spectre. Yeah, honestly, that's fair. Again, I would have put it up here, but like right now, I have zero desire to play Chronomancer currently. Honestly, I'm gonna put it under Spectre. I'm gonna put it over there. You think it should be in D tier? It's like, it's supposed to be up there, but it's just like, it's fallen. It's fallen. Honestly, I think it's D tier even now. Like, I have zero desire to play Chronomancer. And again, I mained it for like 4 years or something. It was everywhere. And I loved it. I thought Chrono was super fun, but now it's just, yeah, it's fallen. It's fallen. The theme is awesome though. Like, and Continuum Splits, like, the spec itself is solid, but it's just not very fun to play right now. But you said DPS doesn't matter. I mean, I guess it's very subjective. As in, like, if you want to play something, don't worry too much about DPS. But for me, it's definitely a part that makes me enjoy something more or less. Like, if I have to put in a lot of effort to get very low DPS, then I'm like, I don't really want to. Like, it definitely affects my enjoyment personally. But if you're like, yo, I love playing Chrono, don't let me stop you. Just play Chrono. If you think it's fun, don't worry about the DPS. But for me, it's not something where I want to play it, if that makes sense. However, again, if you're like if you enjoy it, don't let this stop you. Just play it anyway. Who cares about the DPS? Oh, Repti Mirage. Can I say? I never liked pure DPS Mirage that much. What is the tier list? It's how much do I like the specs right now? How much I like them. It's very subjective. I gotta say though, I love the Staff Mirage right now. Alak Mirage is quite fun. I will say though, like, I feel like every Alak Mirage kind of struggles to keep up Alak. I feel like all the Alak Mirages need to take more boon duration. Like, I always get a little bit worried when there's an Alak Mirage in my group. It's really fun to play though. It's, you know what holds it back a little bit? The fact that you need a target to give alacrity. Like in Fractals or something. In Fractals, it's scary. Because, like, you can't give Alak, you gotta, like, spawn your clones first. And when there's a lot of just, like, random trash mobs, often your clones despawn all the time. It's just very annoying to give Alak in something like Fractals. It's great on a boss. It's great on a strike, on a raid, or, like, on a Fractal boss. But, like, on random trash mobs, it's kind of painful. I love the theming, though. You know, the fact that you get to, like, dodge and go invincible and all that sort of shit. That is so cool. I love that stuff. Like, the theme is awesome. And I like the whole thing of the mirage mirror and all that stuff. And, like, the axes are honestly kind of fun, too. We put it here. We put it in B tier. It's not my fave, but it's solid. It's solid. B tier. Alright. Virtuoso. Oh my gosh. Virtuoso is going straight into A tier. Virtuoso is just like... It's like they took Chronomancer but made it more fun. Like they went like, yo, we're just gonna take all these things that are annoying about Chronomancer, which is like your clones despawning, and it's like the auto attack cancelling and all that sort of stuff. We just get rid of it. We just get rid of all of that stuff. We just make it way easier to play. We make it way more fun and open world, and we make it hit really hard. And also you get like invincibility for an hour for some reason. It's super fun. And you get to cleave like crazy with the daggers. So like on fights where you can cleave, you can do like super sick damage, and it's super fun. I like it. Virtuoso is cool. Honestly, I would put it... I'd even put it here. I'm gonna rank it up a little bit. I like Spellbreaker more. But yeah, I'm gonna put it here instead. It's good. It's good. You beat Sam's put every Mesmer Spec in S tier. Yo, bye Legendary Lyn. You'd put Mirage in S tier. I'm curious like what other people's like lists are, because it's, again, this is just pure enjoyment, so it's super subjective. No, Berserker is in Haven't Really Played tier. That's where it's at. Yeah, Berserker is in Haven't Really Played tier. I mean, I have it unlocked. I've like played it, but I don't know how to really play it. I don't really get it. Okay. Reaper, low B, because this seems really easy to play. It is easy, but it's fun. Reaper is just like fun, okay? Like, just all the animations, you get to like pull out this scythe, you get to like, you get to be rather mobile, because you get like all these sort of like dashes and stuff. I think it's really fun. I love like when you put down your wells and stuff like right before you go into Shroud, so they get like a damage boost. I love the greatswords. The greatsword feels so darn satisfying to use. I think Reaper's awesome, and especially now that it's good. It's an 8 there. Yeah, it shreds. And it's fun. It's like good and it's fun. And it's not too hard to learn. It's like perfect combination. Honestly, it's close to Virtuoso. It's very similar. Like easy to play, easy to pick up, but just very fun, and it's really good. And if it's good, that kind of makes it more fun. To me, at least. So I'd put that in 8 there. Yeah. That's where I'd put it. Now it's called boring. I guess that's fair. It's not necessarily the most high skill ceiling. It's not damage to improve once you know how to do it. Do you have a link to this tier list? I do. I'll link it to you if anyone wants to make their own. Okay, what else have we got? Scourge. Oh no. Okay, so I said this the other day. The Necro Specs. As a Reaper, you get to be a Reaper of Death, and you get to summon scythes and send people to the next dimension. As a Harbinger, you get to pull out deadly elixirs and you poison yourself to do more damage, and you get to basically do like karate and all that stuff. And as a Scourge, you get to throw sand at people. I don't know, I don't like Scourge. Heal Scourge is fun though. Heal Scourge is very, very fun, and it's very, very different. It's very, very different from like anything else. But that's going away in the next patch. Heal Scourge is getting massively reworked, and they're getting rid of sort of the unique playstyle a bit. Heal Scourge is fun for 10 more days. That's true, and we're racing it right now. Honestly, I would genuinely put Scourge in D tier. I really do not like Condi Scourge. I think it's so boring. You're just kind of spamming stuff and it's not very exciting. I would generally put that in D tier. But Heal Scourge redeems it. Heal Scourge makes it more fun. And because of that, it goes to C tier. Again, that might be dead 10 days from now, though. That might happen. But for now, C tier. For now, it's C tier. You know what's also the thing about Heal Scourge? Is if you play Heal Scourge with people who are like good at the game and who don't die, you just get to be useless, basically. Like, Heal Scourge is amazing if you're playing with people that are new to content. Like if you're in a training or something where people are a bit new, there it's so fun. It's super, super satisfying. But if you play Heal Scourge with a group that's very experienced, you basically get to do nothing. Very often when I play Heal Scourge, I'm just sitting there like, I hope someone dies so I can do something. Like you just kind of feel not very useful when nobody's dying. So, where can I see the upcoming patch notes? It's on the forums. It's on the forums somewhere. You can also look at it on the wiki. And on the wiki you get like the little icons, which is kind of nice. I'm stop sneakily switching to Heal Scourge. Oh no, you should if you want to. This is just how much I like it, right? Like, if you want to play Scourge, you should hecking play Scourge. Go for it. But this is how I feel about it. It's Harbinger. Honestly, I think Harbinger is maybe the most fun necro spec. Would I put it above Reaper though? Maybe Reaper's kind of overthrown now. Maybe I think Reaper's the most fun necro spec now. But I love the idea of our Harbinger. I love how Harbinger is like the opposite of Necro, kinda. Like it's Necro, but it's very squishy, right? Usually Necro is like super tanky, but it's like very squishy Necro, and you get to do quickness, and the rotation is super fun, and like it's super fun in Volts for Volts. Again, this is PvE list though, but even in PvE it's quite fun. Harbinger is super, super fun. I like it. I enjoy Harbinger. I'm not sure where I'd put it though. I think I'd put it under Soul Beast. I think I'd put it here. It's good. It's A tier. I like Harbinger a lot. It's the most necro. It's always been risky with self-colony and now Blight. Yeah, I really like it. It's cool. Posting Harbinger page. You still have Harbinger and A tier even after the mantra changes? Oh yeah, honestly, I might be the only person who thinks this, but I think the mantra changes made it more fun. I used to play Firebrand before they made the mantras the way they were for a long time. I played them like when you still had to charge them. And I got super used to that, and I thought it was kind of boring. You didn't have to charge them anymore for a long time. I was like, oh, you just spam off cooldown. Didn't think it was very interesting. So I might be the only person in this universe who likes that they reverted it and that you have to charge them again. Alright, so we have now arrived at the Elementalist specs, which is kind of my favorite class in a way, so that's interesting. I don't like Tempest that much. I played it for like all of Heart of Thorns though, because I like Ellie, and it was the only Ellie spec. I like Heal Tempest though. Heal Tempest is quite fun. We played that kind of recently. That kind of pushes it up, but I think Tempest DPS is not... I don't think it's very fun. I would play Weaver or Catalyst any day over DPS Tempest. But Heal Tempest is fun. Temp seems like it can be good if you just want to play better core. Yeah, honestly, it feels like extended core a bit. I don't think it's quite as unique as Weaver and Catalyst, but it's fun. All the overloads are kind of cool, to be honest, but... I'm not sure where I'd put it. Wait, what the hell is happening? I would probably put it here. Right there. Yeah, it's my least favorite Ellie spec. I usually like to play the other ones, but Heal Tempest is fun, so that pushes it up a bit. Like we've been playing that recently, and that's been a very, very fun build. So put it over there. Alright, now to the final two specs. Bam! S tier. Bam! S tier. This is the Ellie main inside of me. I love both of these so much. I think Weaver specifically is genuinely fantastic. I think it's so ridiculously cool that you can be in 2 attunements at the same time and you get like special skills, and like the sword is super fun to use. I love Weaver. It's S tier in my opinion. Weaver is super, super awesome. But then Catalyst. Oh my gosh, I am team Catalyst. I'm here to try to convince you all to play Catalyst. I love Catalyst so much. I think it's awesome. I love the little mini game with the orbs. I know some people hate it because if you mess it up, it feels bad. But if you pull it off, it feels so satisfying to get that mini game. I love how you want to like spawn the spheres like kind of next to each other, right? You always want to cast one sphere, attunement swap, then do another sphere so that you have lots of energy uptime. The UI sucks though. They need to make the UI better for like the energy bar. It's like this little tiny energy bar for ants. It's so small. But it's so satisfying if you pull it off. And in open world, it's like super, super bruisery. It's super survivable if you play Celestial. You've got like all these like water blasts you can do. So you can like play in Ellie and not be squishy, which is wild. I love bonking people with the hammer. I love Catalyst. It's my second favorite. I generally love everything about Catalyst. I was going NG, I think Holdsmith is great. Made my own tier list, ready to get ostracized by the entire community when I share it. Oh, I've already done that, so you can join me. I love it. Cats are utilities? Yeah, okay, that's true. The utilities are kind of boring. Fine, okay, I'll knock it down 1 because the utilities are boring. I do agree. You do make a valid point there. The utilities are hella boring. But it's still so much fun to play. I love like doing the mini game and stuff and getting the orbs and stuff, and I love it. And it's super hard. It's one of my favorites. I love Catalyst. I love playing it in open world. I love playing it in raids. And quickness Catalyst is going to be cool soon because they're changing the way you give quickness so that any sphere gives quickness. So it looks like you can just do the high DPS rotation and you don't have to do the weird air rotation anymore. So that's going to be fun. I'm excited about that. Oh my gosh. Attempts to make Holdsmith now. You should. It's my favorite. Out of 1. That's the list. Is there anything that I really want to change? Aether's pretty big. I guess I just like most specs, don't I? I guess I just like most of them. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at.